You also can remind me that I promised that it's possible to use the manual tests and automated tests together. Let's say I want to check all the functionality I have in my product with all the features, with all the tests. Could we do that? My answer will be yes. So we selected all the tests, run all them together and say that will be release 1, 2, 3, doesn't matter at all at the moment. And I can say that this particular launch will be dedicated to a release. And if I want, then I can create a task in my issue tracker which will be dedicated to testing of this particular release. So basically that will be, for example, AD9. We need to test everything, and everything means that we provide this information to our launches, and this information will be added to this particular Jira issue, which is the task for testing all the functionality in our product. That will be AD9. Again, we select the issue tracker and select the issue that is currently created for our product. Now you can see that we created a launch. There is information that is job run is currently running on Jenkins side, and if we go inside, let's apply a filter, and we can select manual test cases. So there is a manual test case needs to be executed by us. We pass in again all the steps. If we certain that everything is all right, we can just resolve and pass all the previous, or we can provide some additional information that, for example, avatar is not present, and thus the test is currently failed. But the list of the project is still available, so that will be green test. And finally, we make a decision that this test will be failed. So basically, we provide some details on this error. Avatar is not present. And we submit this information. So we pass the test, we failed the test, and the information from Jenkins site is still arriving. After some seconds, everything that is related to this particular release, to this testing of this particular issue on Jira site is completed. We can close, and now we go inside Jira and we can see that there's a particular launch dedicated to checking of all the functionalities that we have in our product. We can see this information from our launch, what are the failed tests, what are the successfully passed tests, and we don't need to go inside Allure TestOps user interface to check it. So in scope of this particular example, in this particular section that we discussed, the execution of manual tests, the creation of manual tests, and we show that we can use manual tests and automated tests together. The information from CI system will be added as test results in this particular launch with the manual tests and automated tests. And we, just like we did before, need to pass all the steps of manual tests, and information will be added to this launch. So we can combine automated tests and manual tests again. Now let's talk about the bridges that we promised we built between manual testing and automation testing. How we do that? You can see each test has a unique number which called Allure ID, which is a system ID of each test, and this is very important information for the automation. So we copy that, and next step for us will be our IDE, where we write our tests. I created integration with Allure TestOps. I provided a secret token for the integration, and now IDE is able to send information and receive the information from Allure TestOps or to Allure TestOps. Now what we need to do here, we need to provide information about the test case that we want to automate. that will be 81 that we've taken from the user interface, and I want to say that I need all the information about all the fields, all the issues, all the members, all the scenario from Allure TestOps site. Now click OK, and now we can see that information from Allure TestOps is taken and provided to the code. Now what we need to do now, we need to create real code in our steps, and just to save some time for us, I will just manual to auto check out. Let's say we created some tests, we moved information from method level to class level, because the feature will be authentication anyway, and the owner will be the same for all the classes. We provide this information about the number 81 for our Allure ID, and then I change some behavior of the test in our steps and provided additional information as attachment, and now I can check how my test is executed. Now the test is executed. Each test generates the Allure results, so we can see that here. Test generates several attachments, several containers, and Allure results, which is the main file with the steps and information about the metadata that we provided in our test. Now what we can do now, we can upload this information either using upload results, like here. The system asks us how we will name the launch, and we upload information to Allure TestOps demo project, which is our current project. Or we can, for example, use this test results and drag and drop the test results to Allure TestOps interface. So there will be results files, upload files, and we can see that this currently launch is created, and we see all the information from our code with the attachment that we created and all the metadata that we added to our test. Now, if we're happy with the results, we can close the launch, and let's go to test cases section first. Let's go to this case. This test case is currently number 81 is shown by the system as a manual one. Now we need to close the launch. Let's go back to the test cases, and we can see that information is not updated. So the test case was not converted to an automated test case. Why? The reason for that is that we did not provide any additional information on the environment, and in our settings of the launches we can see that the live documentation generation policy is that we need to provide information about the branch used in our tests, so that will be either demo or master, and only for these particular branches the test cases will update or generate the test cases here. So let's create another launch with the same data, nothing changed, upload the results, auth automation, the launch is being generated here, but I will add some additional information about this particular launch. Oh, actually I cannot do that. Now we need to think how we need to manage this information in order to update our test case. So let's say I want to create another rule, or maybe update the existing rule, and I say that end tag in update. Now I updated the rule for the generation of the test documentation, and let's see what will happen if we update the information about this particular launch. Update, automation, update, update. I want to create another one. Oh, It was not updated, sorry. Edit this information, update, create update, submit this information. So now our launch got the tag update. Based on our rule, tag in update, the system must update my test case and convert it to an automated one. And let's check how it's done. I close the launch, go into test cases section, and check if this information is currently updated or not. Update. Launches. Oh, sorry, I created wrong parameter. It must be not and but all. So now 7 launches. And if I close this launch again, reopen, then close. Now the test case number 81 is an automated one. So we can manage this information and we can prevent updating the test cases if they are not ready based on some additional information. For example, if I am using the branch development, but I want my test cases to be updated only for branch master, then I'm creating the rule for that. Like here, for example, branch demo or master will update the test cases, or tag update will update the test cases. If our test will be received from a branch development, then no test cases will be created here, and no test cases will be updated based on the information from these launches. Now, what we can do next? Next step, the manual test engineer is actually validating the test result that we received from our automated test case. And how it's done, there is a special section for that. So this is how the test case was described by a manual testing engineer, and this test case that we received from our test results. When the manual test engineer or whoever is validating the test case that we automated decides that this test case from the test results is okay, it makes all the actions, it checks everything that needs to be checked, we make the decision that this scenario must be erased, because when we create automated test case, it's always being executed. This scenario will be actual, and this scenario will be not actual, and actually it will be obsolete at some time. So we need just get rid of it and use all the information from our automated test cases. So we delete store scenario, and now all the information from the launches, from the test cases, from automated test cases, from the test result will be taken and shown to the end user here. And after we close the launch, as we saw here, the test case became automated. So how we build the bridges between manual engineers and automation engineers. We show them automated scenario and manual scenario, and they're able to compare if they can trust the information from the automated test cases. Since they trust this information, we can use this information to update the test cases in test cases section.